Hi, it's Chris Castaldo from Wall Street Buy, Sell, Hold. I'm back with Jonathan Flicker from New Vitality.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
The last time we were together was the middle of August. It was beautiful weather. You were about to surf in California,
Indeed.
and I had a golf tan. I've come back, and I've promised my customers, my viewers, my investors as a follow-up. And I want to crawl inside the brain of Jonathan Flicker, and I want to find what his marketing thoughts, plans are for the Nyloxin and the other products, the pet pain away. So that being said, we understand you took some product delivery of Nyloxin.
Indeed.
So why don't you tell us where you stand?
Great. Well, as my wife says, you don't want to crawl inside my head, but come on in.
Just for a little bit.
We are thrilled. We're thrilled. You know, when we go to market with a product, as I said last time, we're very careful about the products that we choose. We're very careful not only from a regulatory standpoint and from a legal standpoint, but from a customer efficacy standpoint. We've done a lot of testing with Nyloxin. We've done a number of in-house user groups. We've done a bunch of giveaways. We've given it to people who are sort of in the inner circle, and we've got we must have at least 100 installations out there with different customers, and we get. It's actually all come back with even more positive reviews than what Rick has originally.
Is there a certain demographic that you're going after? Older people, athletes?
What's interesting
people,
is that if you look at the chronic pain situation in the United States, there's something. It's different. Different people say different numbers, but on the low side it's 80 million people. On the higher side it's 100 million people. And there's not 100 million of any one particular group. And whether it's men or whether it's women, whether it's older, whether it's younger, whether it's sports related, whether it's chronic ailments, whether it's 20-year-old kids playing basketball or 65-year-old guys thinking they can play like 20-year-old and play basketball. So we've tried to really give it to a wide variety of people. And we've done it for a couple of reasons. First of all, we want to get the broadest take on efficacy and acceptance of the product. Okay. That's first of all. The second reason is that when we put together our marketing, we want to make sure that from a television and a radio and an e-commerce and a print standpoint, which are our preferred direct-to-consumer channels of choice, we want to really make sure that as we tailor our marketing for customers, that we have real feedback and we have real stories, real testimonials, real marketing for these groups of people. Now, it may be the case, and it certainly is from our standpoint, that Nyloxin really helps across all these demographics, and it really helps across all these different types of chronic pain. But when you get to direct-to-consumer marketing, you have to get pretty specific.
Right.
So if you're going to market to men who are 55 plus,
right? Okay.
Men who are 20 plus are not going to look at your marketing, and they're not going to buy. And if you're going to market to 20 plus, 25 to 40-year-old men who are 55 plus are not going to generally pay attention to it. So part of the reason why we do what we do is we're trying to complete our market research so that when we put together our marketing, it is specific enough to the particular demographic, yet broad enough to give the message of people conselling.
So based on your testing and your feedback, what marketing efforts are you going to use? Where are you going to air it? Is it going to be the 55 and older? Or is it going to be the younger type person?
We're going to start with the 55 and older.
Okay.
We're going to start with, for a couple of reasons. First of all, we believe that's a more prodigious market group demographic to go to. And secondarily, they are more of the direct-to-consumer buyer. And we think that through the way New Vitality has been marketing, and we really believe we understand that group a little bit better than we understand the younger group. And we think that they're going to be the early adopters of this particular product and pass it on as opposed to the other way.
Okay. Well, you've done a great job, and you do a ton of sales with the ageless male product, which I assume is geared for people that are over 40 or 45.
Correct.
You've had tremendous success wherever you're marketing. Are you just going to piggyback and run those same time slots available?
The short answer is maybe. And that, unfortunately, is a lot of times it tends to be the answer with direct marketing. We will certainly test those time slots, and we will certainly test those channels and that current distribution. But we'll actually begin with a much broader segment, or a broader grouping. I apologize, a much broader grouping, and then begin to optimize and, as we say, do more of what works and do less of what doesn't work.
Okay. If we could narrow it down to time frame, because when we spoke in August, you were testing the product. You got great feedback from your radio ads.
Right.
It prompted you to say, let's kick this up a notch, and let's start to aggressively put together production,
Right.
which you're doing right now with Rick.
Right.
So you're doing some radio production
Right.
and TV production.
Correct.
When might we see that on TV or hear it on the radio?
Well, we just signed.
Is that why you're in a great mood today?
Yeah, I am. Because we just finished the contract with Jeb and the gentleman who climbed Everest.
Mount Everest, right
Mount
here.
Everest,
Jeff
right. With rheumatoid.
Gottfjord?
Correct. We just signed him. He climbed Mount Everest with rheumatoid arthritis. The only reason, first of all, he's incredibly well-spoken, an incredibly nice man, very generous, and actually attributes his ascent of Everest and managing his pain to the naloxone.
Okay, if we can further clarify, Jeff Gottfjord has MS, I'm sorry, rheumatoid arthritis.
RA.
He's taken the naloxone product,
Right.
and because of that, he was able to climb on Everest, and I assume he's in some type of registry, if you will.
Yes.
Okay.
So, he's a climber. He's
Okay.
an incredibly productive climber. He happens to be living with rheumatoid arthritis. And he attributes completely, this is not something that New Vitality actually seeded with him, but
Right.
Rick actually did, I guess.
So he's going to be the spokesperson.
And he has agreed to be the spokesperson. I would say it took no convincing. He continues to use this product. He loves this product. He can't tell enough people about this product. And so we're thrilled. We wanted to make sure that he was okay with our production elements and so on and so forth. We also, a portion of the proceeds will be given to his charity as a result of the sale of this product. And so we are targeting to shoot in late October, early November, so that we can be in post-production through November and begin testing in December on TV.
Okay, so in November, December, late November, December,
Right.
all right, you'll be on TV.
Based on media availability, but yes.
Okay, all right. Is media availability at a premium then, because you're heading into the holidays?
It is, but it's at a premium in general, but we're going to be doing a lot of market testing. We'll do price point testing, we'll do offer testing, some creative testing. So we're not looking to explode it out in December, but we're really trying to understand what the buying behavior would be from a direct response consumer. And then what we'll be looking for is really a first quarter launch.
Would you be airing in major metro areas, New York, Dallas, California, Florida, Texas?
We'll certainly be testing in those areas, but we also like to test in what appears to be sort of the grand average of areas as well. We don't want to just have a product, and we don't want to just have a product that works in New York but doesn't work anywhere else, or works in San Francisco but doesn't work anywhere else. So we want to make sure that, because we really believe this is a great product, and all of our findings show that this is a great product.
It works. I've used it.
I use it. I actually use it myself. I have a sore hip from running, and I used it this morning when I was done. And so what we really want to make sure is that we understand all size markets, not just big markets, but smaller markets as well, because we obviously want to be able to sell there.
Now testing versus full-fledged going out marketing and going full tilt. What would constitute a test? Is that a 1 week push? Is it a 2 week push?
No. Well, I shouldn't say no. I mean, that's a great question. We have a really comprehensive, very fulsome test process that we go through here, and it's not just let's spend a couple of $1,000s and put it on TV. What we do is we have a number of offers, a number of buying structures. We have 2 or 3 call centers that we actually use, and we want to make sure that the inbound, not only the commercial makes the phone ring, as we like to say, but we have the unique selling proposition really honed so that the consumers who call and actually have their questions answered.
Right.
And so that takes a couple of weeks, and it takes money, quite frankly. And as this has gotten through our process, and we really like this, and this has been approved, and we've really scrubbed this down, and customers have it. And so what we really want to make sure is that that we're giving the information to consumers as they call. So when you go to a website, we'll have a big FAQ for all of this, but you can't just read 3 pages over the phone. And so we want to make sure that we have really understand the consumers.
So and we've had customers say, why can't we find the product on the website?
Right.
Is because the offer is not perfect. Are we doing 1 for 15, 2 for 20? Is that part of the reason?
Yeah, well,
why it's not on the site?
that's actually part of it. We also want to make sure that we don't just put it on the website and have it hidden. We want to make sure it's slightly more complicated. You have to start buying keywords. You have to make sure you have search engine optimization. You got to, there's a number of steps. I mean, but for the fact that most people think, oh, it's easy, just put up a website and call it
you don't just throw this product up there and sell 100,000 bottles a month.
We want to do it right, and we are very very careful.
Sounds like this is a 6-month process almost before you get it out there.
Probably from beginning to end, it ultimately is. I mean, it's a great product. I mean, Rick has saved us years because we didn't have to develop the product.
Where are we in that 6-month life cycle before we can see
heading very rapidly towards the end. I mean, this is all in development. The e-commerce guys have developed this. Now that we have Jeff on board, we've got to make sure that we've got enough intellectual property associated with Jeff specific to the product that we can actually put up, because he's not just a guy who mildly used it. He's really a spokesperson.
Right,
He's incredibly credible. Very, very credible, very believable. I mean, he's engaging with when he's passionate about this product. So you have to really capture that, and then that theme has got to really be across all channel development. And so that's what we do. We don't want to have one message up here and another message up there and another message up there. So we work very hard on making sure we have a cohesive messaging marketing program on this.
I know it's tough to gauge, but we talked about the Pet Pain Away a while ago, and you said you thought the product had home run potential. I don't think we talked about the potential that the naloxone could have. What is your feeling, gut, about where the product could be, where it should be?
With such a big population, a potential of 80 on the low side, 100 million people on the upside, and such a great and positive response from the consumers that we have measured and spoken with, and we've got people in user groups who call us and say, I need to get more of this product. Can we please get more? And the efficacy of the product, we obviously believe that this has tremendous potential.
All right. Could you grab 1% of the market, 5% of the market? I mean, there's 80 to 100
Very
million.
difficult. I mean, it's interesting. Direct-to-consumer numbers are not measured at the same rate, or are not put into what's IRI data or retail data or things like that. So it's a little bit different.
Well, you have 43 pallets of product. I don't know how many units are on a pallet. Is that enough for you?
To start, it will be.
All right. How long might you take? Is that a month, 2 months, 3 months worth?
I'll tell you in February.
You'll tell me in a couple of months from now.
I'll tell you in February.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Pet Pain Away, because I'm very excited, and I was walking the pooch about a month ago, I told Rick, and another woman was walking her dog, and the dog was sitting on the ground, and I said, what's the matter? And they said, we can't walk the dog more than a few blocks because it has pain. And the light bulb went on, and I said, this Pet Pain product has got to be, got to be bananas. Tell me where you are, because you're manufacturing product now and you're getting ready to start shooting infomercials. So where are you at the infomercial stage?
We have some final product testing that we need to do with regards to, it's very technical stuff about microbial instability and things like that, but we're in the final stages of that. What we know is that people really people love this concept. There's a lot of pets, and there are a lot of older pets.
Sure.
And, what I find really interesting is that pets really don't suffer don't buy into the placebo effect, right? And so it either works or it doesn't.
Great market, great test.
And so that's
foolproof.
So we think that this is at least as prodigious as the naloxone market will be.
Okay, so I think last time we spoke, not to put words in your mouth, you felt if you could do $50 million a year on the Pet Pain Away, would you feel you could do something comparable on the naloxone side?
I'll tell you in February. The reality is, you can keep trying if you want, but they, look, I've worked on a lot of brands, and brands have been, 10 million, and brands have been, hundreds of millions of dollars, and so when you have great marketing and you have a great product and you have great acceptance by either the human or the pet market. You get to build a brand, and a
repeat customer every month.
Exactly.
That's where you make the money.
That's our business. So that's why great marketing will make the phone ring.
Right.
Great product keeps it selling.
And service.
So that's really, New Vitality is really built on a platform of great service, great delivery, great customer management, and we feel that that's. We will obviously apply all of that to
Right.
Nylox.
Well, you seem to be a great partner. Seem to be everything in place.
Rick's a great
Well, Rick is great from when I've worked with him, and I'm just sorry a couple of years ago I missed the run as an investor with his stock when it went from 2 cents to $1. But sometimes you make mistakes in life, and sometimes you get an opportunity.
Everything
but
for a reason, right?
I'm not missing it this time. Well, Jonathan, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
I promised my viewers I would be back in 6 to 8 weeks, and here we are. And again, I'd like to come back in 6 to 8 weeks to see where you are with the product launch of both Nyloxin and Pet Pain Away. We hope you sell the product off the shelf, and I'm going to hold you to some numbers the next time we meet.
Terrific. Chris, you're always welcome back.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Great. Thanks.
All right.